Welcome to the IMSAI channel, where I try to resurrect an old IMSAI 8080 computer. So I zoomed in a bit for you. Oops. Let's see, point with this. So again, this is the mechanism that has two positions, closed and open. The read head's either closed or open. And there's a ledge here and a piece of metal, so the ledge whacks onto that piece of metal. On this side there's also a stop. You can hear it. So there's a hole right here where that little rubber grommet was. And this just lifts up the heads. Actually, it spreads the two heads apart and then releases them. So that's what that does. So I could put a sticky pad on this side and sticky pad on that side, but then I'd have sticky stuff again. I think what I would do is try to find some soft material that I can jam in there. Like I said, maybe a tiny little rubber grommet or something with a groove in it. I was able to get most of the black stuff off. Luckily, it does dissolve with isopropyl alcohol. So let me scratch my head and try to find something to put in there and clean my hands off. Alright, so what I decided to do was put a very small piece of tape on both sides. I have some, it's almost like electrical tape. It's a plastic tape. It has a little bit of thickness to it, and it's kind of cushy. Not real cushy, but like electrical tape, but maybe a little thicker. And this white tape here. And instead of applying it to the metal piece, I put it on the plastic piece because I thought the adherence would be better. And so when it engages, it'll have a little cushion there. I really don't think the amount of use that this thing will ever see in its lifetime. I think the plastic against metal is probably okay all by itself, but anyway, that gives it some extra protection. So I'll go ahead and put these screws back in. Holds this back in. Right. The holes lined up. I'll loosen that a little bit. There we go. All right, one more. There we go. Make sure this thing is lined up. Looks pretty good. There. I did find some little O-rings, but they were too thick, and I thought maybe I could epoxy those on, but I think it was a very, very thin piece of rubber and probably very soft, and that's why it melted. So I think this will at least prove one way or the other whether that was the problem or not. I'm skeptical that was the problem. But let's hook it up, see if it works. Okay, let's hook it back up, just kind of temporarily. Let's see. Let's put the Oops. Let's put the edge connector on. Sorry if put it away. And let's connect the power. It's hard to get around the camera here. That's right. It's okay. All right. Let's go ahead and power it up. All right. That's good. Let's try to get to the B drive. And open a terminal window. All right. Let's put a disc in. The disc in B. See how it goes in here. And yeah, it doesn't go in very far, does it? Maybe that's a problem. All right, let's see if we can access it. Ah, it worked. Wow! It never worked before. Well, it did work, then it didn't work, so maybe that was the problem. But it is now working. And you can probably watch that. Let me... The heads are disengaged right now. I'll do a stat B. Oh, that didn't really help. There we go. Awesome. I'm not really happy with the tape idea. So I went to the junk store at lunch and I bought some material that I think I can glue on there, rubber pad type, thin sheet rubber type. And I'll try to epoxy that onto that surface there. I believe I could probably use the hole in the metal to be a reservoir for the glue and sandwich two pieces of rubber on it, and should be up and running. Well, if this one's messed up, I bet you the other ones are messed up. So I'll check all the other drives and see if they're also melted. Give me an idea also of how, if one of these is in good condition, like maybe the A drive, I can get a idea of what that material was and how thick it was and things like that. So that'll be the next step. Alright, I'm so excited we got the B drive to work. But now I'm curious to see is the A drive damaged in any way or not. So let's find a smaller screwdriver here and open it up and see if it suffers the same problem, or whether it was insulated from the heat while in the attic. This is easy to do. This particular drive is held in at the bottom with 4 screws, so it's difficult to get out. This one's just held on the side with 1 screw. Not very good, but the top holds it in. So hopefully we won't have to take this out all the way, but it's not too big a deal. But we will take a look-see and see if our rubber parts are melted. Or they could use replacing. I mean, since I'm doing it. Alright, put these someplace safe. And there we go. No, it's melted. Not too bad though, but a little bit. A little bit, quite a bit actually. But it melted in a good direction. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bunch of goo there. It's very weird how it. Oh, I know what it is. It came here and then ran along this metal piece, and then made a little, deposited itself as it wicked across onto the top. It looks exactly the way the other one did. Let me zoom you in here, and we'll maybe we'll get a better look at it. There we go. I have set the exposure. It'll be a little overexposed some places, but I think you'll be able to see what I want you to see. And let me find a pencil to point with. Alright, so this is the area we're looking at right here. There's a piece of metal right here, and then there's this black rubber piece that looks like it's kind of mashed down, and this surface here is the one that smashes into it. And you can see that, oh yeah, it's soft and gooey. So there used to be something there, and whatever was melted, and melted in this direction up to here, and then it wicked along this piece of metal, and it stuck over on the other piece of sheet metal here. So anyway, this one does suffer from the same problems, but it's a little cleaner in this area, so I guess it's not interfering with its daily job too much. I don't know what the bottom side looks like, but we're just going to have to do all three drives, make them right. Luckily, this unit does unbolt with just 3 screws, and it comes out, so it makes it very easy to work on. And I have some rubber material. I'll show you that in the garage when we get to it. But I think we'll be able to fix all 3 drives up in tip-top shape.